Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. A leaked internal form for Liberal candidates to put forward potential election promises has sparked accusations of pork barrelling. Labor's compared it to the controversial Local Communities Facilities Fund run last election, while a leading integrity expert slams it as an attempt to buy votes.
Delivering a crop of agricultural policies, the Liberals want to build a new wool centre of excellence.
This can be a controlled environment where you can slow things down and really ensure that we're producing the best and most highly skilled workforce.
Surrounded by sheep, as accusations of pork barrelling are thrown once again. A leaked form given to Liberal candidates asks for potential projects to fund.
Every member of Parliament worth their salt should be listening to their community. That's what I'm about.
A similar form was used in 2021 when the Liberals promised more than $10 million to projects in the Local Communities Facilities Fund, some with links to candidates. The Integrity Commission slammed the party's 2018 promises, finding fewer checks and balances than the infamous sports rorts run by the federal coalition.
We need a government that's focused on investing into things that on the basis of need, not on the basis of who knows who.
It's really disappointing when you see that politicians who have been told that this kind of misallocation of public money is wrong continue to do it. They won't learn.
Integrity expert Jeffrey Watson says pork barrelling favours major parties who shouldn't be buying votes.
We have a strict process in place. It is a process that is transparent.
We've established a proper process where projects can be assessed based on need.
Meanwhile, Labor's promising to hire 168 additional paramedics by 2032, with more than half of those by mid-next year, as well as a fund for upgrading stations and vehicles.
Tasmanians are waiting for longer for an ambulance and paramedics are stuck at a hospital rather than being in their local community, responding in a timely way.
The Liberals criticising a lack of costings, calling it a hoax.
For far too long, our members have borne the brunt of a system that is in complete crisis. For far too long, the Tasmanian community has had their services eroded.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanians are warned to brace for destructive winds exceeding 125 kilometres an hour from tomorrow morning. A severe weather warning has been issued, with residents urged to be cautious of falling trees and prepare their properties for potential damage.
Trampolines are not a friend of the State Emergency Service. Go to that extra effort to be able to sort of secure your trampolines. They do become missiles.
A total fire ban is also in place for the state's south tomorrow as emergency services continue to fight bushfires in the Central Highlands.
The conditions tomorrow are going to be quite challenging for fire crews and aircraft, and we'll be monitoring any new starts to ensure we can get on top of those as quick as possible.
Tasmanians can stay up to date with the conditions via the Tas Alerts website. More than 100 women sailed into the weekend with a keelboat competition, spiking everyone's adrenaline levels. Now in its third year, it's hoped the event will help boost female participation in the sport.
A dozen keelboats off to a flying start in the 42 degrees south women's regatta. Wind in the sails of 105 competitors, the event drawing entrants from across the state and further afield.
We've got some very experienced sailors out here and we've got some less experienced sailors, so it's a great combination.
Members of the sailing community, including Andrew Smith, loaning their vessels to the fleet.
It's just such a good opportunity. We've got 7 girls on board, we're all from Tassie.
The squad victorious in the first of 3 races.
It was a tricky race, it was very gusty. We had to keep our eyes out of the boat quite a bit. But yeah, we're glad it got shortened and managed to sneak a win.
A tough feat requiring all hands on deck.
It's all a team effort and everyone's been helping each other and just really making sure that everyone's on the same page.
Organisers and volunteers also spending their Saturday on the water to keep the event smooth sailing.
An event like this is only as good as the people organising it and the volunteers have done an absolutely fantastic job.
Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Eager wine lovers have spent the day on the road visiting some of the state's most iconic vineyards. Benefits of the popular tour going beyond the glass. giving local producers a chance to meet customers face to face and grow their brand.
Sipping among the vines.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Today's perfect blend, mixing the love for local wines with picturesque backgrounds. Dozens of connoisseurs pouring in for this year's Southern Tasmanian Open Vineyards weekend.
People come here every year and it's lovely to see young people out enjoying themselves and drinking wine.
Local groups and interstate visitors winding their way through the tasting trail, timing their trips perfectly to see what Tassie has to offer.
It's a great initiative so that all these small vineyards are open to all of us who've come all the way from Sydney.
It's the second stop and we might go on and try a couple more. We're taking it easy, so we're sharing our tastings so that we don't drink too much.
The annual wine tour, an opportunity for local producers to grow their brands.
Sort of been something that's been on the radar for the last few years. This is our first time, but we've been thrilled with the turnout so far.
And give wine fans a chance to meet the faces behind their favourite drops.
The ones that we've chosen are actually ones that we buy, and it's really nice to be able to meet the winemakers.
The chance to taste a range of Southern Tasmania's best doesn't stop here. More tastings are on the menu for day 3 tomorrow, with a message to encourage a Sunday stop.
That life is too short to drink ordinary wine.
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
That's true. Rotary Tasmania has put its hard work on display, hosting an exhibition for its clubs at Princess Wharf 1. Volunteers educating the community about the variety of initiatives in place to help people in need.
We have youth projects, we have health projects, we have overseas projects, mental health, gynecological cancer.
I often say to prospective members, perhaps if our club doesn't suit you, there's probably another club that does, because there is such diversity when you meet of a morning or lunchtime or an evening.
Those interested in joining will have their pick of 48 clubs. Well, Clarence is alive with the sound of jazz as its annual music festival continues this weekend. Jazz Cats enjoyed the music today at the festival hub for the Big Day event.
And I think people have really loved being able to move between stages and see lots of different things in a short period of time.
Finishing the festival tomorrow is the All-Star Jazz Jam at the Rosny Barn. A Tasmanian AFL draft star is making himself right at home at Arden Street, despite being moved from the midfield. Colby McKercher finding mentors galore at the Kangaroos ahead of the team's pre-season clash with the Saints.
A Tasmanian at heart, Colby McKercher has no complaints about his new life in Melbourne.
Obviously I miss my family and friends, but yeah, it's pretty cool to be playing footy every day.
Pick 2 in the national draft, the 18-year-old has spent the pre-season learning from coach Alastair Clarkson.
He's pretty good in the way that he just lets us play our own game and play to our strengths, which is how I like it.
Last year's rising star Harry Sheasel also taking him under his wing.
He's a gun player and we've all seen what he's capable of, so for him to be here for the next 7 years is awesome, and yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with his career. There's a number of boys, Bailey Scott, Jai Simpkin, and Shees especially, that have all helped me settle in and helped me learn a new role, which is good.
The new role seeing the midfielder switch to the back line.
Under 18 year I was playing as a midfielder, but been thrown back, so Jed Adcock has been really huge in me learning a new role, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
Fans travelling from all over, including Bendigo, to be at the club's family day before they take on the Saints tomorrow. Kate Massey, 7 News.
Bo Webster has helped steady the Tigers on day 2 of their Shield clash after Victoria was bowled out for just 106 this morning. Tasmania was in trouble at 6 for 71. Webster was able to score his 3rd 100 of the year.
Flicks it into the gap. They'll turn for 2, they don't need to bother.
The Vics need 442 to win. Victory will see the Tigers host a home final. It's been a record-breaking night on the court in the US for one of Tassie's own basketball stars. Olsen's Rain Smith sinking 10 three-pointers in a single game.
And he got it! 10 made threes for Rain Smith!
He's become the first Coastal Athletic Association player with multiple games of 9+ three-pointers. His new career high of 32 points also helping his side Charleston to its first ever outright regular season title. And 2 stalwarts of the car racing industry have added their names to the history books. Inducted into the Tasmanian Motorsport Hall of Fame today. Steve Chopping recognised for his many roles on and off the track. Legendary race engineer Peter Turnbull also returning to Symmons Plains, where his illustrious career began 60 years ago this month.
I've raced at about 40 different tracks around the country and met lots of people. Put on you, it's probably the highlight. I'll probably go home and say that'll do me.
A legendary Tasmanian track has also been immortalised, with the world-famous Longford Grand Prix adding its name to the honour board.
Good evening. 22 was the state's top across Launceston and Devonport today. Burnie 21, 19 in Hobart. Low Head and Flinders Island reaching 20, Grove 18 and 17 in Strawn. Across the state today shows scattered cloud about the west and south with clear skies across other regions. Further out, cloud bands consisting of embedded thunderstorms are seen through South Australia and New South Wales. Tomorrow, a cold front will be quickly passing over Tasmania with very windy conditions. Showers also expected about the west and south. West to south westerly winds tomorrow, 25 to 35 knots, reaching 45 knots in the south. Swells up to 7 metres in the west and south and up to 2 metres in the north. A severe weather warning is current for damaging winds across the upper Derwent Valley, southeast Midlands and northeast districts. A gale warning is current for Frederick Henry Bay, Storm Bay, Central Plateau Lakes, the west coast, east coast, central north and Flinders Island. A strong wind warning for the southwest lakes. There's also a warning to sheep graziers for the southeast forecast district and a fire weather warning for the east coast fire weather district. Tomorrow's forecast now Hobart and Richmond windy and partly cloudy, 17 in Ouse. In the north, Launceston and Devonport 21, Deloraine 18. Burnie tomorrow windy and partly cloudy, 17 in Strawn, Curry 19. St Helens partly cloudy, 20 in Swansea and 21 in Whitemark. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now, Monday, fine apart from showers about the west and south, most likely in the morning. Tuesday, fine with possible fog or frost inland. And Wednesday, fine apart from showers about the west. Capital cities, Perth 34 and a shower or two tomorrow. Sunny in Adelaide and 35 in Alice Springs. And currently Hobart 16, mostly sunny, Launceston 20 and Devonport 18 and sunny. That's all in weather tonight, Michael.
Thanks for that, Jackie. Make sure everyone takes care of those winds all around. Well, that is your news for now. Thanks for joining us. From all the team here at 7 Tasmania, good night.